Today is our second poem, Geography lesson, written by Zulfikar Ghosh. He is novelist and poet. The poem Geography lesson describes the poet's opinion of the land below when viewed from the sky. He finds the earth the least attractive from above and continues going higher up. As the poet moves higher, he realizes that the country is full of cities and valleys. So, we will see according to line. When the jet sprang into the sky, it was clear why the city had developed the way it had, seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile. In this 4 line, poet wants to tell to us when the jet rose fast into the sky, the poet saw below him. He could understand why the city had grown into absurd way. He saw the city look small. A mile of the ground looked as small as 6 inches. Next. There seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked absurd, unplanned and without style when the jet sprang into the sky. Jet went up into the sky. Looking below, one could see a inevitable way in which the city had developed. It certainly had a logic. On the earth, it seemed ugly and without a method. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran and why the valleys were populated. So, the jet plane went higher up to 10,000 feet in the sky. Looking below at the country, one could clearly see why the cities in the country had developed along the rivers. It was natural because people need water. In the same way, from the height, the poet could see why people had settled in valleys. The logic of geography that land and water attracted man was clearly delineated when the jet reached 10,000 feet. In this line, poet is telling to us from the height of 10,000 feet in the jet plane, the poet observed the country. He understood the contention of geography. It was that people settled where land and water were easily available. Next, when the jet rose 6 miles high, it was clear the earth was round and that it had more sea than land, but it was difficult to understand. The poet's jet plane went higher into the sky. It rose 6 miles up the ground. Now the earth seemed round as he had learned in geography. It was also shown that water covers the better part of the earth. So she had an area larger than the land. However, there was something which he could not understood. That the men on the earth found causes to hate each other, to build walls across cities and to kill from that height. It was not clear why. So, from high in the sky, the poet understood logic of geography. However, he could not understand the logic of human hatred for each other. He could not understand why they have decided to live separately. Why there are walls across the cities? Why do people want to kill each other? It was one puzzle which the poet could not answer from that height. So, we will go to summary of this poem. What the poet wants to tell to us. In this poem, the poet wonders why people hate and fight each other over imaginary boundaries. The poet is traveling by plane. When it takes off and flies over the city, the poet begins to understand why the city has developed in the way it has. From the ground, the city appears to have been built haphazardly without any foresight or planning. However, from a height of 10,000 feet, the poet that sees a much wider geographical area. From this vantage point, he realized that the cities are built near rivers and that more people prefers to live in valleys. He realized that geography of the land plays an important role in how humans settlement develop. Both water and land are essential for people to live and thrive. As the plane soars 6 miles above the earth, the city disappears and the poet says that earth as a whole. He noticed that the earth is round and there is far more water on the earth than land. When he looks at the earth from high above, he wonders why people on earth fight each other and why they put up imaginary and real walls to keep others out. So, message from this poem, we divided the society into groups and we divided the world. There is no line on earth's surface. There is no rhyme scheme in this poem. It is free verse poem. Imaginary it is mentioned. What is that? Walls symbolize borders and cities symbolize countries. Alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sound. Sprang into the sky. S sound is repeated. Scaled 6 inches to the mile. S it is repeated. Why the valley where? B sound is repeated here. Now whatever word meaning you are finding on the blackboard, this you have to write in copy. Your homework, write poem in the copy, write word meaning, write page number 35 question answers in the copy, and whatever literary devices you are finding, that also you have to write in copy.